few weeks ago, I asked about 15 different people, 2 questions. I told them to give me 2 questions that they would like to know. I got my mother to narrow it down to the questions that she would want to see me answer. And she picked about 12 that she wanted to see me answer. And out of those 12, I'll answer 7. So I'm gonna go ahead and answer. I keep my black boy joy from simply love. Like love from God, love from family, love from friends. Like all of that is the reason why you rarely ever see me down, and just learning to love myself at the end of the day. Because this world, America and this world, will just really make you hate yourself, especially me being a real darker skinned black male. Like for as long as I could remember, like I had a lot of self-hate, and a lot of people hated me for being this complexion, and I had to learn to love it. I had to learn to be happy, because for a long time I was depressed about me being so dark, and just me dealing with everything that black males already got to deal with, and then me having a complexion that I got. But yeah, love oversees every other thing that this world could ever think that they're gonna do to me. Just me knowing that it's people out there that admire me as a person, admire me as a man, admires me as a creative. I never thought that I would ever be at that point to where people tell me like they look up to what I do and they admire me, or people older than me and younger than me. That's enough. Like that literally keeps me happy. That literally keeps me sane. That keeps me wanting to progress. And I feel like every time when I want to stop, when this world makes me want to stop, I think about the people that genuinely fuck with me and the people that genuinely rock with me. And I know that I gotta keep progressing. The fact that I didn't have a father figure. My stepfather never really did anything for me. My father wasn't there. So me not having a male figure in my life, like that took a real major toll on me. Because I always wanted it. I always wanted to have, that male figure that I could look up to, somebody to take me under their wing, somebody to teach me something. And me not having that, it was pretty devastating for me for a long time. But I'm glad that I went through it, because one thing that I learned is that when you have that male figure, like you learn from them, and like you pick up on their ways, whether it be negative or positive. And me not having that, like I didn't have anything that I could pick up on from somebody. So I just had to figure it out on my own. Like I literally had to figure out everything on my own and pick up things from people that I saw and things that I heard. I had to pick up tidbits here and there, and I brought them all into one, and I made it into who I am right now. So I when I think about it, I thank God all the time that I didn't have that male figure. I would have loved to have had it when I was growing up, but now that me being 32 years old, like I'm glad that I didn't have it, because if my father would have been there and he would have taught me a lot of the ways that he has, like those could have a real negative effect on me. I could have been a piece of shit individual, you know what I'm saying? If my father would have taught me his ways, if my stepfather would have taught me his ways, if my uncle would have taught me his ways, if like anybody else would have taught me the ways. So that's why I thank God all the time for him just allowing me to be who I am, and him just giving me my life that I have. Like I really appreciate, that struggle. It was a struggle, and even right now, like being a man is an everlasting thing. Like it's no cutoff point to where you stop learning how to continue to be a man, and it's an everlasting thing. And until the day I die, like that's something that I'm going to continue to, work on being a better man and a better individual, a better overall person. And like I said, it was a beautiful struggle for me. When I joined the Army in 2007, and I was stationed in Fort Carson, Colorado, in Colorado Springs. That was a real eye-opener for me. It was a culture shock. A bunch of people who weren't like me, nobody who act like me, nobody from where I was from. Like, it was a real big culture shock, but it left a real positive impression on me because I learned so much about different people from different cultures and different ways of life, and just everybody being from different walks, and like hearing everybody's story, like that really left an impression on me. Like I was cool with a racist white kid that hated black people, but me and him used to talk, and I used to ask him about racism all the time and why he was racist and what made him racist and why he hated black people, and he used to ask me questions about black people. Like, I never thought I would experience nothing like that. Me meeting people from all walks of life, man, in different places, like that was like the biggest thing for me, and I really appreciate that now, because the 10 years after me getting out of the Army since 2008, and this is 2018, like the people that I've come across, like it really taught me to deal with those people, you know, be it a positively or negatively, because I ran into a lot of negative stuff when I was in the Army also, but it really had I say 95% of me being in Colorado Springs was at Fort Carson was a positive, and it really changed my perspective on life, and it really did a lot for me. I would say New Balance. I pick New Balance all day. And I say either the 997 or the 998 model. They super comfortable. You can do a lot with them as far as colors and materials. They just look good on feet with pants and sweatpants and even shorts. That's just those two shoes are like, they just great shoes to me. And in my mind, like I come up with a lot of concepts. I would take like the Ronnie Fieg approach, because I see everything that Ronnie Fieg is doing is like something that I would do. Like, that's the approach that I would take on every project that I would ever get, especially with sneakers. I first got into Japanese denim from when Young Jeezy and all the rappers was talking about, you know, Vizus and Red Monkeys. And I remember being in the Oglethorpe Mall one time, and anybody from Savannah know about the Stag Shop. And the Stag Shop had a pair of Vizu jeans in the window. And I remember looking at them through the window, and I was like, what the fuck is those? Like, just looking like, what the fuck? And so I was like, I went in the store and I was like, I looked at them, and I just remember seeing the thick embroidery on the back of them. And this was back in like maybe, I'm gonna just say 2003, something like that. 2003, 2004, something like that, I'm gonna say. Or time passed, and I started seeing Naked and Famous. There's a company called Naked and Famous. They make the best Japanese selvage denim jeans that you like, as far as like variety and creativity. Like, Naked and Famous, hands down, the best selvage denim, Japanese denim company that you could think of. Time after that, I remember Rick Ross and Manny Fresh had a song called Japanese Denim, and I remember being like, damn, okay. So as soon as I heard that song, the first thing I thought about was Evizus and Red Monkeys. And I was like, damn, okay, like I might need to get into this. Okay, all right. And then just time passed, and when I moved to Charlotte, it was when I really got deep into Japanese denim. I went in the barbershop one day, and the guy that was in the chair getting his haircut, he was like, yeah, my wife, her daddy, you know, he make jeans or whatever. And I was like, what kind of jeans? And he was like, oh, Japanese denim and Turkish denim and American denim, like all type of crazy shit. And I was like, light bulb went off. I was like, he make them? Like, he make Japanese denim? Like, he make the own jeans? He was like, yeah. He was like, just go in there and tell him I sent you, whatever. And I ended up going, and the guy that was in there, he ended up just teaching me so much about Japanese denim, and that's when I bought my first pair of Japanese denim. I paid like $250 for them, and it was rainbow selvage, and I had me a pair of Bapes. I bought them for my birthday actually, and that's really how I got into Japanese denim. What was it like growing up in Savannah and in my neighborhood? For me, it was cool. I had fun. Like, I tell people all the time, like, my childhood was fun. Pretty much all me and my friends did was play sports and play video games and beat each other up. Like, that was it. Like we played football, we played basketball. We played a game called Beat 'em Up Chase in our neighborhood. We would get about, I'm gonna just say 8 people in 2 teams in a certain block radius. One team will run, we'll count, and we'll chase them, and we'll just beat each other up. You got caught, you got beat up. Like really got beat up. It was fun, man. Like my childhood wasn't hard. The neighborhood I grew up in was rough. But for us being younger and us being kids, like it was a lot of stuff that we didn't really have to worry about, with us being younger. And the older guys in our neighborhood, they pretty much had it solidified to where if you weren't from the area, like you couldn't come. So we didn't have to worry about too much, too many outsiders and too much extra stuff going on in the neighborhood. We played video games. A friend of mine, P, like his house was like the spot that we went to, played video games at his house, played football in front of his house on his street. He had a basketball rack in the back of his house. We had a square at our rec center. Like we played football there, we played, basketball inside. We had a swimming pool. Like my childhood was real fun. I love the people that I grew up with. The people that I grew up with made my childhood a whole lot of fun. Outside of my family, that was all I had. And even when I wasn't around my family, like when I couldn't be around my family, like I was around the people that I grew up with. So that's why I got a real strong relationship with the people that I grew up with, because that was pretty much all I had on a day-to-day basis. Me being a kid and me seeing my brother grow up, like my brother was like a super great artist growing up. He was in the sneakers, he was in the fashion growing up. I used to sit and watch my brother draw comic book covers, like on big poster boards. I used to take him to school for show and tell, like all that. Everything that he was into, I had a chance to see that firsthand. And once he got to a certain age and I wasn't really around him, like I just picked up on all of the things that I saw him doing. And that's one reason I have a great appreciation for art right now to this day, because I saw him do that so much. And it just made me like, when I see somebody that's great at art, I'm like, I need to see more. Like I want to see it. Like what else can you do? Like show me everything you got. Me seeing him do art and have sneakers and all that, like that pretty much set me on the path to doing what I do now. Peace of mind, peace of heart, a peaceful environment, just being around peaceful people. Like for me, that's like the biggest thing. In freedom, like peace and freedom is happiness to me. If I can be at peace, like I said, in my mind and my heart and in the space that I'm in, and if I'm free, like I'm free to do whatever I want to, like that's happiness. Like I realized a long time ago that it doesn't require a lot, for me to be happy. I used to want a lot of materialistic things, clothes and shoes and just all that kind of stuff. But I just realized, like, me wanting those things, it was like me wanting to cover something, like me trying to fill a space in my life. And although I still love those things, I do to the core of my heart, but I just realized it's not necessary, It's not necessary, it's not really needed. But as long as I'm at peace in my heart and in my mind and in my environment and I'm free, like, that's all I need.